Hi, welcome back to Wine Mastery.
Sorry, my apologies.
It's fine.
There you go.
We're happy. We are going to taste a Rioja. And we're going to taste it now. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the bottle. Here we are. So I'm going to try and pronounce this. This is Los Hermanos Rioja, DOC or DOC.
If I could see it, John, I'd help you. I can't. Sorry.
So Rioja is your favourite go-to.
Rioja is my favourite, yeah.
So looking forward to this one.
Yes.
I quite like Rioja as well. Not as much as you, but I still do enjoy it very, very much indeed.
Okay.
So should we begin by looking... Oh, should we look at the price?
Oh, John, how could you, of all people, forget the price?
Yeah, well, it is a bit expensive, this one. If we look at this, $8.99. So that's 101 pennies from £10. 101 pennies, sorry.
There's a lot, yeah, 101.
Yeah, not 110.
No, 8.99, yeah, I don't think it's a bad price for a Rioja. Riojas are very good value in general.
Again, as we say always, it's all in the tasting. It could be a good price. If it's not, well, we're about to find out. So should we have a look at the colour to begin?
Let's have a look at the colour,
yeah.
Okay, it's got that nice burgundy, rich colour. Almost, it's not. I mean, I like purple. It's not purple, but there's a hint of something. Almost like it's like a burgundy with a hint of cerise in there.
Yeah.
There's something brighter. It's something brighter than a burgundy, but not quite.
Would you say that's a typical colour for a Rioja?
Rioja, in my experiences, it depends on the aging, of course, can be a little bit almost browner, not quite tawny, but it gets there. But I think that's aging, and I think this is quite a young.
Yeah, it's 2023, isn't it? And it doesn't look like it's the sort of minimum aging, so it's not a Reserva or a Grand Reserva.
Grand Reserva or anything. It's just a straight Tempranillo. So a straight Tempranillo generally is the youngest Rioja that you can get. With Tempranillo, Crianza, Reserva, Grand Reserva, and then a vintage. So let's have a go on the old nose.
Okay. Cherry.
Yes, and he still makes me smile.
What does?
Just the Rioja.
Makes you feel like home.
I get the cherry though, chocolate cherry.
Oh, chocolate cherry. You mean like a chocolate with cherry inside it, like a liqueur chocolate?
Yeah, just like one of those like you get at Christmas.
If only.
Yeah, but it's not very obviously. I mean, for me, I like the leather and the oak. But one of the other things I get with the Rioja is a smokiness. I'm not getting leather, I'm not getting oak, but I am getting that smokiness in there.
Yeah.
But then again, it's young, isn't it? Perhaps how long has it spent in that oak? Or?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Move on to taste.
Let's have a taste, John.
Ooh. Again, cherry. I get a little bit of oak with that.
For me...
But then the tannins really cut. Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then after that, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay. So...
Oaky? I'm not...
It's not... Well, no. I'm not getting the kind of a... For me, that is almost ruined by the tannins. The tannins are very apparent in there. And the flavour is just not taking it on. I'm gonna have another taste time because I can't even tell you now what I tasted to begin with without the tannins rushing in and ruining it before I got to say what's that. But I'm gonna have another go.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, it comes in. You get the cherry. I do detect a slight amount of oak, and then it just sort of tails very quickly off, and the tannins kick in. You're left with very sort of dry.
I get your cherry, but it's not developed enough. There's not enough richness, not enough weightiness in there, and like you say, that the length isn't there. I mean, this might be stereotypical of a younger Rioja, but it's not a Rioja I would pick off the shelf. That's not. I mean, don't get me. No, that's wrong. Because I would try anything. I probably do try anything. So I will have picked up. But it's not a Rioja I'm particularly enjoying, and if there's one wine I do enjoy, it is Rioja. I enjoy many wines, but yeah, this just
Particularly Rioja.
Particularly, yeah, that's one of these on many videos.
We have had some young Riojas before, and they've been quite sort of lively and juicy and refreshing.
Yeah.
And this is just it just feels like the tannins are just, as you say, just overweighted that, and it is £9 a bottle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and it's very rustic. I mean, I would definitely want. I can understand actually if I was eating something with this, it might be okay. It's not something I'd want to drink on its own.
No. And a Rioja, in my opinion, I mean, obviously I love Rioja with cheese, cabbage, Gruyere, or a Comte is actually perfect to complement. But Rioja for me, I can drink on its own all day long if I was allowed. But this is not. Yeah, that one glass would be ample. I've tried it. I'm all right with it. It's not.
Yeah. I'm just then. I was thinking, should I have another sip? And I think, I don't really want to, which sums it up.
And when I tasted it, I found myself frowning and thinking, well, but that's not to say it's a bad wine. It's just not a wine that again, I'll bring it back. I do love Rioja, but it's not something that you're saying that. I frowned. You didn't want another taste of it. It's £9 a bottle. It's a bit coarse. It's a bit rough around the edges. For me, Rioja embodies for me the finesse and the deliciousness. The richness. They're in there. I've said many times I could spend 10 minutes smelling a Rioja and getting it, and I can drink far too much of it because I find it absolutely delicious. But like you've just said there, John, I will have another drink. I don't really want to.
No,
it's not.
No.
And I wouldn't even. Cranky, we're going down a road here. But I wouldn't even recommend if I were to recommend a Rioja and somebody went out and then bought that as Rioja, it's not doing Rioja justice. It's not. It
is really again, it's a very sort of rustic wine. Again, in the right location. In a tavern somewhere in northern Spain and eating some charcuteries.
I suppose, but a lot of the times, we want the wine to taste delicious and then the food to complement it.
Yeah.
It's how we would look at it. Whereas this, we need a food.
Yeah,
that's gonna make this better. Yeah. And I get it, and there'll be foods and things out there, but for me, very thin, and the tannins in there are just too much for me. But it's a young Rioja, so we can't knock it for that.
But it's £9,
and we've tried wines and Riojas. Oh, many much better price, we should say.
Yeah.
Which have been better wines.
Much better wines.
So,
yeah. Okay. So well, let's move on to pairing. You've already said what you do.
Well, that would be like with the Grand Reserve and the Grand Reserve Rioja, or just a big Rioja in general. They are my go-to right now. 5 years it might be a different thing. 'Cause 5 years ago it was a different thing. So with this in particular one, what I'm going to say? I'm going to say a cheddar. I'm going to say, because the word you used there, John, rustic.
Well, there's a little bit of cheddar down there, so just try it with it and see if it takes it. Why not?
Good call, John.
Why not?
Very good call. Would you like to taste a little bit, John? I just use my fingers. That's a piece
Thank you.
Sir.
I'm sure I'm not the first person you said that to.
You're right. Okay, so do we know which cheddar have we got here?
Yes, it's a cheddar.
The cheddar I'm thinking of, and this is a cheddar. I was thinking, no. That's a little salt crystals in there. Nice texture. In my mind, I've been thinking the more kind of Lincolnshire porch of this world, that big kind of farmhouse. Again, and the words you use again, rustic. Rustic with a chunk of that farmhouse cheddar. But let's go.
It does a lot for the wine.
And take the tannins away.
Yeah,
I thought. Yeah,
it does a lot for the wine. Together, they're quite nice.
It's amazing. It is amazing how a little bit of cheese or food can change that. That is now much more palatable, and that isn't even the cheddar I would have chosen with that, but already that becomes. So the tannins have gone.
Yeah.
Now you've got a juiciness. Now you can pick out that black cherry, the strawberry. Oh wow! Isn't it amazing? I mean, I must admit, when I do my tastings, a lot of the time, you know, I will say to everybody, even if you don't like the wine or the cheese, just try them together, because it's a lot about the combination, how these things go together, and that's just proven the point. I think we've gone from a very,
almost unpleasant.
Yes, shoddy. But well, no, very thin, very coarse, very harsh wine is now palatable.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to say it's amazing, and again, it's still £9.
Yes, it is still £9. Yeah.
He says finishing it.
Well, it's a cheeser, did it? So, shall we move on to scoring?
Let's do a score.
Okay. Right.
Right, okay. So I'm going to say this very personally. You know, I don't often, but what I'm thinking is it's £9 a bottle. Obviously, in my career, I've tasted lots of Riojas. I do adore Rioja, and that one quite simply isn't cutting the mustard for me. I don't even think that's for someone who's starting on the red wine journey. I think that might put them off even. $8.99. I'm going to be slightly brutal with this one, but this is again a personal thing. Is I'm going to give that a very, and I think I'm being generous.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't say what. We're going to do a pairing. I'll do that in a minute. I forgot to do my pairing. The food. Yeah. Anyway, I was so amazed at how the cheese and the change transformed that. Yeah. So mine is 59.
Oh, I gave it 72. But I did say I was being very generous. But that is, wow, John, I don't know. I don't think you've ever scored anything.
I have scored lower. 55 is my worst mark. But I think for the price and the taste, it's just...
I get that, but I don't get our difference, because I disliked it.
You're just being over generous.
I did say I was being... Maybe I was taking it like too personally, as I said, but 72.
Yeah, you've done 72. I've done 59.
Oh, so that's 13, isn't it? 13?
Yeah, it's a big gap.
But yeah, well, we don't usually have that. Anyway,
no, normally it's just 3. Yeah.
I've been to... I might have been not flummoxed, but the cheddar and the wine together did. But that shouldn't have come into the play. But anyway, I'm gonna be. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it at 72.
Well, guys, if you get to taste this, you give us yours. What do you think? Do you think I'm closer to the right score? Do you think John's closer to the right score?
I think it'd be you.
Comments. Do you?
Yeah, I do think it'd be you. Too generous. Anyway, sorry, John. But we never got to your pairing.
Yeah, and again, I think I'd be looking for something that was very, very rich. So I'd be looking at a beef stew, carrots, probably with some red wine sauce in it, and might use this for red wine sauce.
Whatever's left over.
So something that's really rich, a casserole, hot casserole, maybe some dumplings, and I think that would offset the tannins. Yeah.
You know, it's come that time of year as well, isn't it? Again, we're filming this just before Christmas or in the winter time. And I was just saying, a rich stew, I could just fancy right now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So,
okay, so now we're just going to swipe across and we're going to go for a viewer's question.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this one is from Craig Connor, sorry.
Craig Connor.
And his question is rosé just a mixture of white and red wine?
You know what, Craig? That is a fantastic question. One I'm asked frequently. And again, when I do my tastings, a lot of people, because we don't all know about wine, and that's absolutely fine. We don't need to. That's why I'm here. But a lot of people are afraid to ask such a question because they think it might be a funny or a silly question. But that is absolutely perfect. Yeah, how do we make rosé wine? And a lot of people do think, as you just said, is it a blend? It's not. Generally, what you get when you're making a... We'll pull it back. When you squeeze a green grape and a red grape, same colour juice comes out. Would we agree on that one? So to make a rosé or a red wine, what we do is to leave the grape skins on top of the juice. This is from the red skin, so it's called surly or on the lees, or they blend it in there. So it imparts the colour in there. So to make a rosé wine, they leave the skins or not in for a short amount of time, but to make a red wine, they leave it in for much longer, so it imparts a little bit more colour. So yeah, really good question, and one people a little bit sometimes afraid to ask, but because they might think it's silly, but no, that is a brilliant question, Mr. Connor.
Yeah, and also it's the fact that you can have some white wines that are actually made from red grapes.
Of course you can, yeah.
The juice is the same, and that reminds me about the story about what did the grape say when it was being pressed.
Wait for it. Go on.
It just gave a little whine.
You asked for that one. I'm really sorry about that, Craig. I'm really sorry. Excuse me. No, that sense. And yeah, like John just said there, you can get white wines from red grapes, as we often do. Champagne's a big
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir in there, yeah. And there's lots of white Rioja beer. Beer. Good question, sir.
Excellent question. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you've got any questions, then contact us via the YouTube channel or via our website. There's a comment section there, or email us. I'll be pleased to receive those. Okay, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Sorry, it was a little bit of a sort of downer, but we're giving. Some people will love this one. There will be some who really enjoy them. If there's only one bottle of wine, as you always say, if everyone would love the same thing. There'd just be one bottle in the shop.
They can't always be good.
No, they can't always be good. To our palate, that doesn't mean to say you're not going to like them. If you taste it, you tell us what you think. Until the next time, guys, when we hope we're going to actually have one that we enjoy, at least. We'll see you there. Chin chin.
Chin chin.